Hi, students. This week we are going to talk about a really important topic, health and wellness. If you don't have good health, it is really hard to get everything else done. We want you to be successful while you're here at SCTCC. We want you to have a lot of opportunities once you graduate from SCTCC. So thinking about your health and your wellness, that matters now. Plus, a lot of you're just getting started on your life as adults, and this is the time where you kind of transition from your parents or your family or somebody made a lot of your doctor's appointments and told you to take your vitamins and eat your vegetables. And you're transitioning into that part of your life where you make your doctor's appointments and you remember to eat broccoli, even though maybe it's not your favorite. I'm going to suggest roasting it. Okay, let's get in. I'm going to share my computer and let's talk about a few resources that you can use to help you. So, first article, and as always, of course, I am your librarian, so I will have links to all of this. They'll be wherever you got this on YouTube, they're right below the video. All right, this is from Inside Higher Ed, and just talking, it's obvious, right? But your physical health, your mental health, all of that, that's linked to your success, not just when you're a student, but your entire life. I'm going to say it's been a while since I've been a student, and it still really matters. So they did this big study, and this is a couple of years ago, but they were asking all kinds of students about their stress, their mental health, their physical wellness, and reducing stress. Yeah, that's that's a very big deal. Be thinking about that for yourself, certainly. So what can you do to reduce stress? So I don't know if you see here in my office, I have all of these plants. They help keep me grounded. They help make me happy. I'm not kidding. I have these partly because I think they're good for my physical and my mental health. Fitness facilities. Now, we don't have a fitness facility specifically on our campus, but from my desk, I can see the why. It's right there. And when you are a student, you get a discounted membership. And I'm sorry, I don't remember what it is, but I think it's like $100 for a semester or something, which is way less than what I'm paying, which is good, good, good. Get over there. You, yeah, I don't know if you're like me, and maybe you're not like me, and maybe you're more of a jock and you feel really comfortable in a gym environment. Awesome. Well, then there you go. It's right there. And if you are a little bit more like me and you're like, I don't know, where would I even start? I'm just going to tell you, I belong to the Y. I go regularly. And it's easy. There are a lot of people there who really don't know what they're doing, but there are people who can help you. So you don't have to worry that this is like one of these really hardcore places that you won't find friends or other people. I'm not a chatter at the Y. I'm there to get things done. But they have all kinds of nice things. So there's a pool if you like that. There are weights. There's a weight room where you can have I don't know, the free weights. And there are also some areas where you can just work on weight machines. They have treadmills, elliptical machines, rowers. They have a ton of classes. So if you're somebody who likes classes, there's a bunch of different ones. I went to several classes last semester on dancing. I don't remember what it's called. I was Zumba. I was so bad. But who cares? There's not a Zumba police who's going to take me away because I was bad at it. I still had a good time. I was sweaty and out of breath. This is all you're going for. So, fitness facilities, go there. Or, don't join. We have Crossroads Mall here. Walk around there. If it's too cold or too rainy outside, this campus, I walk all the way around the blocks here. There's a lot of pretty areas to walk. There's a park. I'm pointing from my desk, but the park that's right over there, some of you may be over there playing baseball, softball, or just go walk around and just enjoy it. All right. A quarter of students approve of that. So, yeah, no, I get that. And dining halls. So we do have a dining hall. We do have culinary students who make food for us. And then in addition to having a service, but you always need to be thinking, well, and making good choices for yourself, right? So Do you do you want to have French fries and fried cheese? I mean, yes, obviously. I used to live in Wisconsin. I love fried cheese, but not every day, right? Make some good choices for yourselves, and I don't, maybe talk to your doctor. I'm not a medical doctor. Uh, Take a vitamin every now and then. If you feel like you're not getting your nutrients, have some broccoli today too. Okay, the part where I sound like your mother is over. So here was more information about that survey. And so some of the top 10 takeaways from this big survey that they did. And like I said, I mean, this was a couple of years ago. Well, I guess just, yeah, 2023, um, about student health and wellness. So chronic stress, such a big deal. See what you can figure out to do for yourself. We have resources in the library that can help you. I'm going to show you some other resources we have on campus. I've done a lot of work on stress. So, I mean, it's very difficult once you really get down the road of serious stress, but on a daily basis, what could you be doing to try and make that a little bit better? I think it's really different for everybody. So I know I do like deep breathing because I feel like that helps me. If you're in the library and you see me like whooshing out air, someone's driving me bananas. Um, but I like doing meditation, but I know I've talked with students who are here in the library who say that they find their prayer routines very helpful into combating stress. Again, going outside, walking around, sitting with the plants. Students sometimes ask me if they could come sit in my office with the plants, and yes, obviously that would be fine. I mean, you are stuck with me too, so keep that in mind. Um, think about what's going to be helpful for you. You know, may not be able to fix every stressor, but now while you're in school, this is a time to be thinking, what kind of skills could I be learning, knowing that life does not get less stressful when you're not a student? Um, how could I be getting more comfortable with myself and my own skills? Again, I'm not a mental health professional. I'm just somebody who, well, lives and so has stress. And I have done a lot of work in trying to look at stressors in different kinds of environments. It's helpful. So interesting. I feel like, maybe that's good. It's half of you all out there think mental health is good or excellent. Great. Um, let's see what we can do to get better. It's okay. I mean, it's good, obviously, to notice, hey, I'm kind of struggling here. And then what is your next step? So folks who are rating their mental health as poor, they're not reaching out. And maybe it's because they have other resources, which is great. But you are here. You are not always going to be an environment that's going to be supportive of mental health resources and help you to do that. So while you're going to school, whether you're in person, whether you're online, whatever, whether you're both, um, we have things for you. And again, I'm going to talk about specifics in just a minute, but just know for the moment, stuff. We have stuff. Exams, of course. It's stressful. It's supposed to be. That's part of building your skills and growing is you have to have a hard thing so that you've accomplished it. If you just went through the semester and just like went to class and kind of tuned things out and didn't take any notes and blah blah, you didn't learn anything. Having exams, it it forces you to push yourself out of your comfort zone. That is the point. So it's going to do that. But the point that you want to figure out is how do you then master that, knowing that you do have to take exams, you do have to do hard things. Now, how do I get ready for that? How do I feel comfortable with that? How do I feel confident that, I'm kind of nervous going in on test day and finals are coming up and that's hard. I mean, there's never a time when that's not hard. That is. So how do I get ready? How do I feel ready? And you know, Going to the library to study is a great idea. Going to the CAS to get I keep forgetting what it's called, but the community academic support to the tutoring there. That's a great idea. Talking to your teacher at the beginning of the semester and making sure that they know any things that you have or going on, or, my sister is having a baby shower the second week in the semester, and I'm going to struggle that week. Can I turn in my homework late? If you don't ask them at the last minute, instructors are a little bit more willing, but after you've missed the deadline, saying, I don't know, I was out over the weekend and can I turn in I know it was due last week, but can I turn in my homework? No one likes that. All right, your instructor may be nicer than I am, but I've been an instructor in class for a long time. No one likes that. So think ahead. Do you have any kind of issues with accessibility? There are a lot of reasons that you might want to be seeing the accessibilities office. And maybe today everything is fine and your ADHD is in check and your epilepsy is under control and your wheelchair, you feel confident with that. But maybe tomorrow you fall down and you break your arm. Now you need to be at the accessibilities office again. These are things to kind of take into consideration and plan ahead. Come talk to me at the beginning of the semester, or look back at our video we did where we talked about I can't remember what it was called, planning or something, and we talked about making Gantt charts at the beginning of the semester. Makes your life so much easier. Watch the video or talk to me and I will give you a hand with that. All right, let's talk about specifics on campus. So this is our health and wellness resources page. And this is where you go when you're like, I don't know, I feel like I have an area that I need some help in. And I I don't want to sound pessimistic about your future job areas, but some of you, many of you, may be going into professional environments where talking about your mental health is not going to be something that people take well, or talking about alcohol and drugs is not going to be something that your supervisor knows how to cope with and is not going to be supportive. While you're here, while you're on a campus, you're in, I hesitate to say a safe space because I don't know, it's college. College is hard, but you're in an environment when you're on a college campus where people will take all of these things seriously and not overly taking care of you because you're not children, you're adults, but helping you to have the resources that you need so that you can do good things and you can make the best choices for yourself. It's one of the reasons I really like being in a college environment, because I have been in workplaces that were not sympathetic to all kinds of things. So it's nice here. Take advantage of everything that we have to offer to you while you are a student. So alcohol and drugs, this is a very big thing when you are in college. Even if it's not for you, and totally fine too. But knowing that your access to alcohol, drugs, prescription drugs, illegal drugs, all kinds of drugs, uh, all of that is more likely when you're in college than it probably was before. So we have some resources there. Financial wellness. Mm, yeah, wouldn't it be great if none of us ever had to worry about making enough money and paying our bills and getting the mortgage paid on time? Fortunately, yeah. Unless we become independently wealthy, and I just got to tell you, none of us are going to. It's okay. It's okay. But getting some ideas again as you're transitioning out from, maybe you've been with your family for a while and you're in the process of transitioning out, or you have recently transitioned, or you can see from where you are that maybe that's what you're going to do. It's great. Um, I'm not trying to push you into any specific directions, but this is a time when a lot of folks, as they're going to college, you have to become more aware of your finances. At the very least, you have to be ready to fill out those FAFSA forms. I know they're unpleasant, but it gets you financial aid, and that's worth it. All right, health insurance. You need to have health insurance. And if you don't currently have health insurance from your family or whoever, uh, there are options. And yeah, try not to be without health insurance. It just makes your life so much better. So some mental health resources in our next tab here. I'm going to show you some that we have on campus. Nutrition. Nutrition is difficult. It's there is no one right way for everyone to do good nutrition. So I'm not even going to start down the path of that other than, I don't know, have you tried roasting your Brussels sprouts? Sprinkle some olive oil over them, some sea salt, put them in the oven for 400 at 400 degrees for, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes. I mean, let them really get dark. They're amazing. All right, that's my cooking ability there. But, but whatever you find for good nutrition, this is a time to really be thinking about it because I mean, a lot of you are, not youngsters, but many of you are, and you want to be having, I don't know, a good start to your life. All right, pregnancy and parenting. Um, we have a lot of student parents on campus, so maybe you have already had a small human. Maybe this is your small human. Maybe it's a small human who lives in your household. I don't know, but it makes life more complicated, right? I mean, good, not that, but um, definitely makes your studying more complex. So be sure that you reach out. We have a lot of resources through Title IX, and when you click on this, this will tell you it again. Um, Carol Brewer is our head of security, and she's in charge of our Title IX material resources, and she will help be sure that you get whatever kind of resources on campus that you should have. Because again, this is a place that's pretty supportive in a way that maybe other places aren't going to be. Racial injustice and violence. So, I mean, it's the world. I'm sorry. It's a problem. It's a problem here. It's a problem everywhere. So, here are some ideas about how some ways that maybe you can take care of yourself. You can work on not perpetuating. I don't know. Yeah, that's a longer discussion, for sure. If you are not already going to things at our multicultural center, let me suggest it. I think they're so fun. They're so fun over there. They do so many interesting things. In addition to talking about racial injustice and racial violence. But I'm just going to say, kind of as a blanket statement, this should not be happening while you're at SETCC. There should Ideally, there should be no racial injustice or racial violence while you're here on campus or connected to the SCTCC community. If you do experience this, if you do see this, try to speak up about it because we do have folks who will be happy to, I don't want to say stop everything, but because again, this is a bigger topic, but we have people here who will be ready to support you and stop whatever problem you're having in the moment. Relationships, whew, yeah, that's tough. And it causes a lot of stress. So again, a lot of you are coming out of high school and you're working your way into, that freer time of adulthood, or you're already in adulthood. And I got to tell you, I'm way down the road of adulthood and relationships and social wellness. It doesn't necessarily get easier. But so think about, what's going to be right for you. This is a time where a lot of people work on thinking through their own sexuality and what's important to them, thinking through their dating and what's important to them. It's, and not just romantic or sexual partners, but I mean, also what kind of friends are you making? And we talked about this in our networking video. Make some friends while you are here. You need to be leaving this school with at least the names of, I'm just going to pull a number out of my hat and say 10. You need 10 people who you don't have to go out and have beers with them every weekend or watch football with them or whatever, but you could call them and ask them a question. You could send them an email and ask them a question, whatever. Uh, Work on that. Sexual health kind of goes along there with what we were just saying, relationships, sexuality. this is a big time. Sex is a girl, it's a big thing. It's a big topic. And this is where you're thinking about the sex that you like to have, the sex that you don't like to have, whatever is your preference here. I don't know. It's a lot to think about. And being in college, again, at whatever age you are in college, this is a time where people try things and experiment or think about new things, and more power to you. Here are some resources. Think about what's good for you. In the end, I don't know. That's always the right answer. What's good for you? All right, and sleep. I've read shockingly terrible studies about high school students and the just drastic uh, lack of sleep that they are getting. I have read some about college students, and I feel like it must be worse because so many of our college students here, I know, college students are, I mean, not only going to classes, but also working part-time, full-time jobs, multiple jobs, also being parents or doing childcare, and, maybe volunteering and maybe doing internships and just trying to figure it all out. It's a lot. And if you're not sleeping enough, everything else is worse. Do what you can to try and get enough sleep. Even get in the ballpark of enough sleep. If you can't quite make 7 to 8 hours in a night, get as close as you can. Try to do what you can. Go to bed early. And I know it seems like something an old person would do. I am an old person, all right? And I don't always go to bed when I should, and I'm frustrated with myself. But everything is worse when you're not getting enough sleep. Everything. You are not studying as well. You are not learning as well. You are not as much of, you're not as good a person in those social and sexual and other relationship that you're having in your life. Your nutrition is not as good. Your mental health is for sure not as good. So this is kind of the foundation. Get some sleep. Here are some ideas. Here are some resources. We have stuff for you. All right. And then there's always news down here. So whatever news, this may not be the news that you see when you go to click on this page live, but just know that we have things for you. Honestly, I say this to parents when admissions tours come through the library. This college, I've been at a lot of colleges around the country. This one, they actually care more about students than any place I've ever been. And it's part of why I'm here because I think that's great. So take advantage of the fact that people genuinely will try to do things for you here and care about you here. So these are our wellness resources. Um, you can click here and get all of this. You can talk with Gina. She's right here on the campus. She's in that building. I can almost actually see her office from where I'm sitting here, but this is her email address. This is her phone. She will answer you. I'm going to tell you, I think she's really nice. I mean, I talk with her a lot. We work together on a lot of things, and I think she'll be really helpful to you when you need that extra boost of mental health care, because really everybody could use some extra mental health care. Now, of course, it's not just about, your physical and your mental health. Being able to get to school, this is also so important. So we have a food pantry. We have a place, we have a fund where if your car breaks down, and that's the difference between you going to school and not going to school, they can loan you some money there. Housing, they can work on that. Parenting, they have ideas. Financial assistance, relationship, domestic violence. Nobody wants to be in the relationship where you have domestic violence and sexual assault, and nobody wants this to happen to them. And yet it does. So here are the resources. Here's where you can go when you're on campus. And you may have other resources in your life. That's also wonderful. But, is there such a thing as getting too much help in life? I don't think so. All right, so again, and then there's news down here. And I think they just leave this stuff up for a while or move it around. So This page may look different again in real life when you go to look at it, but I mean, this stuff will still be there and it'll still be available to you because, again, this is a nice school. They care about you. They want to help you do well. All right. And then finally, I am your librarian. So this is the library. I went to the library catalog and I did a search. This is health and wellness and college students. So this is incredibly broad search. I have 26,168 results. So this is an article. Here is a book. Interesting, kind of aimed more toward parents because, a lot of you will have parents who care about your mental health and wellness. Um, an article, ooh, I love this one when I saw it. The Canine Campus Connection. I wish we had dogs. I wish we had a dog here. I'm sorry we don't. Um, Physical activities, and again, we're talking about health and wellness. You can slide over here to resource type. And you can say, you know what? I only want to read magazine articles. I only want to read books on my topic. You can also open up subject over here. So on this left-hand menu, this is where all the tools are. So I open up subject. All the words listed under subject are keywords from our pile of resources that were our 26,168 results. So I can go through here and I can check some boxes and say, you know what, I'm only interested in mental health. I'm only interested in students. I'm interested in physical fitness, exercise, nutrition. That's all. That's all I want. I'm going to apply those filters and I'm down to 8,154 results. Interesting. Cool. All right. Now I might be a little bit more focused on what I want. You can do this for yourself and mess around with this and try some different searches. I'm going to give you a link to the search that I did that's just huge and filled with tons of resources. But please come by the library or send me an email and you and I will Zoom and I can help you find whatever kind of resources that you might need. And maybe it's something you just want to read on your own. Maybe you're writing a paper for class. Doesn't matter. I don't care why you want to look things up. I just like to look things up with you. So we will do that. Does that make sense? All right. Look at that. I'm taking a nice deep breath. A big fan. These are the plants. You can see a little bit more clearly. This whole campus is filled with folks who want to help you. And so please don't hesitate to reach out for any kind of just advice. I mean, you may be going along and you're basically fine. You're just like, hey, but well, what about that Brussels sprout recipe? I think I've got it in some cookbooks here at the library, so come by. Reach out. Make sure you're getting everything you can out of your college experience. The health and wellness decisions that you make now, I mean, they're important now, but this is where you're setting the tone for the rest of your life. So, this is a good time to go ahead and make some good decisions for yourself. Awesome. All right. I hope you reach out to everybody, and I hope you're making awesome decisions for yourself. And I will see you in the next video. Come by the library. Bye-bye.